It's Friday, June 28th, coming up on an all-new year. Modern Family's Jesse Tyler Ferguson is our Guy Day Friday co-host for a day of real-life hot topics and telling you how this week's historic Supreme Court decision on gay marriage just made his July wedding even sweeter. Then, women who made headlines as marijuana moms are telling you why they say smoking pot makes them better parents and why one of them had her children taken away. And the inventor of the most realistic toy rifle your kids can use to play their favorite video games is revealing why he has no problem marketing it even after the Sandy Hook massacre. And his wife is telling you how she won't even let their own kids play with it. Then, a 12-year-old who was a star player and the only girl on the football team is telling you about her battle to get back on the field after she was kicked off because school officials were afraid she'd give the boys impure thoughts. Plus, a doctor's revealing why people are lining up for a hot new beauty trend where they get hooked up to IV drips for up to 2 hours. All that, hot topics and more, coming up on The View. Up next, women who are being called marijuana moms are revealing why they say smoking pot every day makes them better parents.
Okay, we're going to talk about pot. Not what you put things in, but what you do here. Okay, so marijuana advocates have a long list of the benefits of smoking pot. But a group of mothers are making headlines because they claim that using marijuana every day doesn't just help ease their pain from their medical problems, but that it makes them better parents. So please welcome Cheryl Shuman, Lindsay Reinhardt, right, and Simi Dillon.
Thank you.
Welcome. You know, I look at you, you're very attractive, smiling, nice women, and I think, you don't look like people expect potheads to look, you know? So you got to tell us why you take it.
Well, in my particular case, I originally was prescribed medical cannabis in 1996 when Prop 215 passed. My psychiatrist had recommended it over top of Prozac, Xanax, sleeping pills, and whatnot. So that was the first time.
For what reason?
At that time, I was having major anxiety disorders and major depression, and they had me on 80 milligrams of Prozac a day, and I lost the life I had with my children.
So your pot gives you a good disposition, removes your depression, so on.
It's an amazing, it's an amazing mood stabilizer, and also in 2006, I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. So I used cannabis through chemo and radiation, and then I later learned, and I wanted to make a clarification. I do not smoke marijuana or cannabis. I vaporize. And this is what I use. I also
and how do you do that?
It's easy. You just literally...
I see. So you don't smoke it, you just inhale?
No, I do not. And I also use it in my food. I eat the cannabis raw in my salads, and I also juice the cannabis, and I use a cannabis oil called Rick Simpson oil. That's been proven to document cases of thousands of cancer patients where it's shown.
There's always the reliable brownie also.
And so you also use it for medical reasons?
I have multiple sclerosis. I have 5 lesions in my brain, 2 in my neck and 3 in my back. Without it, I can't function. My skin is burning right now because I haven't had cannabis since they took my kids away.
But you say that if you don't take it, because you're saying now you're so uneasy, if you take it, you're a better parent.
Because I can function in my kids' lives.
I see.
When I'm disabled from my disease, I can't get out of bed. I can't have a hug from my children because it hurts me.
And does it make you a better parent as well?
I think so. I was on prescription medications before that, and I wasn't getting out of bed, and I wasn't able to socialize with my child properly. And since
your children all know, you all have children,
course, yeah.
And they all know that you're
Yeah, it's my
Well,
medicine.
I don't say smoking pot. What do I say? Inhaling?
We're modern cannabis consumers. We are cannabis patients.
Okay.
Cheryl, let me ask you something. Yes, because marijuana is now legal in 18 states for medicinal reasons, plus D.C., and it's legal in 2 of those states for recreational use. I guess Colorado and what? California?
Colorado and Washington.
And Washington. Yes. So now you say that legalizing marijuana across all the states can actually help the economy.
Absolutely.
Tell us how. Is it taxes?
Cannabis is an estimated industry that will be worth $47 billion by 2016. And most of that income is actually generated by ancillary products like vaporizers, like stash jars, and the prescription pill bottles even, or the showcases in the dispensaries. But what's, what I'm a big fan of is using this as a tax and regulated model. Take that revenue, put it into the veterans programs or people who have AIDS. I work a lot with the LGBT community and the AIDS community and the terminally ill. And one of the things that we always do is all of the cannabis that we have left from our garden that's shown here, we actually donate to the less fortunate who can't afford to grow or buy their own cannabis. So this is a plant that can heal not only a multitude of illnesses, it can heal our economy through taxation, regulation, and it can fund the programs that our veterans so desperately need to treat their PTSD.
You need to run for office, Cheryl.
Oh, thank you.
Simi, let me get this right. You work for the Department of Justice, and your husband is a corporal in the police force.
Yes.
Talk me through that.
I used to work for the Department of Justice until I was in the car accident that put me in this state. My husband and my son were so used to seeing me on prescription narcotics that I had completely changed as a human being. So when I came home one day, because I was also on synthetic marijuana, which was prescribed to me for pain, so when I came home one day and told my husband for the first time I'd ever tried it, and he saw his wife come back, and he absolutely approves. So that's the first time I'm saying that.
Wow.
I want to just give the other side because I feel it must be given. We talked to drug experts, including the FDA and the National Institute of Drug Abuse, and they believe that you've heard these, the negative side of it. They say a marijuana joint has 4 times the level of tar compared to a tobacco cigarette. Someone who smokes 5 joints a week may be taking as many cancer-causing chemicals as someone who smokes a full pack of cigarettes every day, and that it's more dangerous than alcohol. It impairs the immune system, the brain, the heart, and the lungs. So one has to give that other side. It's not always so cheerful. But Lindsay, you're too...
I wanted to address that for a moment. First of all, I actually agree with the one study, and that's why I don't smoke cannabis. What a lot of people aren't aware of is the American Medical Association actually came out, and that's why I came up with these vaporizers, because the American Medical Association clearly states that vaporizing is the healthiest intake method. There is no impurities in it, and also in edible form.
Yeah, but
that's what I was going to say. Yeah. If you purify it and you use, like the juice, for example, a lot of people don't realize that there are CBDs and CBNs in the cannabis that are not psychoactive.
But you are all doing it for medical reasons.
Correct. Yes.
Do you, with your children and so forth, say you should do it anyway?
My child is upset that they
How old is your child?
My older son is 11. My younger son is 5. This is the first time my younger son has seen me this sick because I've been treating for 2.5 years and he's 5. So half of his life, his memory, he hasn't seen mommy so sick before. My older son has seen me before and after and now, and he's angry. He's angry that the cops took him away. He's angry that they took...
We have to point out that your children were taken away from you, were they not?
They were.
Okay, so we haven't said that. April 23rd, not that long ago, your 2 boys were taken away for almost 3 weeks by Child Protective Services because it turned out that you were using marijuana. They said, bad scene, and they took your children away. Now they are back with you, but that must have been horrific for them.
It was horrible. It was horrible for our whole family. They got taken away. They accused my child of bringing cannabis to school. 2 weeks later, they actually got the kids that took the cannabis to school. They came into my house while I wasn't
moving
home.
out of that state.
I'm on it. I'm so on it.
All 3 of these women are using cannabis for medical reasons, right? So the whole discussion of legalization and whether you should do it and how dangerous it is or is not, and that's something perhaps we'll have time for. People have been arguing for years, and they will continue to. In the meantime, it's helped the 3 of you, and we are appreciative of your coming on with us. So.
I wanted to say just one thing. I think it's very important for us to educate our children and to be honest with our children. I'm very, very proud from day one I was honest with my children.
And said what?
Well, they were with me. I was honest from day one, and I'm very proud of the fact that my daughters not only support my work, but my one daughter, Amy, is the executive vice president of my company, and we just raised $10 million to take the concept nationwide, so I'm really proud of her.
We thank you for coming on with us and giving us your point of view. Thanks to Cheryl, Lindsay, and Cindy. We'll be right back.
Up next, the inventor of...